Well, Chris, it's been an amazing 30 years for mammography in Santa Fe. I can't believe it's really been all that time that we've been doing this incredible course from a little tiny idea based on what was going on at the time back in the early 90s to something that has become a full-fledged, amazing experience for all the people who attend. It's really been a great ride. You were involved almost from the beginning.
Pretty early.
Yeah, very early. The idea came to me, and I'm sure to many at that time, through László Tabár. László had a course where he came to the United States and presented these workshops as part of his course. At screening workshops, at that time, this was film screen, so it was just up on a big multi-viewer.
I used to go to his, what was it, part 1, 2, and 3, or
yeah,
series. Yeah.
Amazing teacher, amazing courses. And from that, I got the idea that maybe we could do something similar. And I had a great opportunity to work with Bob Schmidt and Gillian Newstead, two really outstanding people at different institutions. And we decided to set up a course based on the same approach that László was using with the workshops. And it really did create a new paradigm for teaching. And it was wildly successful. It has been over the past 30 years. You worked with Bob Schmidt, in fact.
Well, that's my connection, because I did my fellowship there with Bob, and he got me involved in the University of Chicago courses, and then obviously involved in later down the road through those connections with you in Santa Fe. So it's been quite a road.
Oh, it's been fabulous. I couldn't imagine that the course would have grown the way it has. Just outstanding participation. It offers something really unique, and I think that's what the great draw of this course has been. Why it's been able to grow over 30 years. I don't think there's any other course like this that's had this kind of longevity, because it's based on such a solid foundation of learning. I think we've had something like 3,000 people go through the course, and interestingly, they come back. It doesn't matter whether they've been there or not or before or not. They come back because there's always more to learn. And we've been really blessed not only to have this incredible opportunity to teach at the workstation, but also to do so with a really incredible faculty. And I think that's what's the other special thing about Santa Fe, the course, is the faculty. And you've been involved in that and helping to choose these people.
Right. So this year is a milestone. So, I'll let our, the audience know that our, purpose of this conversation and discussion is really to highlight this year in Santa Fe, which will be the 30th annual. So it's a milestone. And so maybe let's talk about what hasn't changed over the years. You mentioned kind of the foundation. What carries through in the 30th year here from the previous courses?
Well, amazingly, mammography still is the base for everything in breast imaging, and for that reason, it's still the solid foundation that we build on, and that's still here. But that's changed. Now it's tomosynthesis that has become the standard, really, for mammography. Right. And we've added now AI to that. And so this is what's really changed.
Right. Yeah. Well, it started early on with analog, which most of our new attendees have never experienced, fortunately. Yeah. But we've had those different steps. We had digital. We went from analog to digital. Then we had some CAD involved in that, and now we have tomosynthesis, and now our last iteration here is AI applications. So we've had a pretty solid foundation in the basic skills of breast imaging, mammography, ultrasound, biopsies, and also MRI has carried through, because that's continued. And so the solid foundation and the faculty, obviously, and the format of didactic lectures and case-based review has carried through, but we've had to change over the years and change our equipment and the workstations, but that's always carried through. But now, obviously, with MR, we've in the last several years we've had the MR workshops, and last year and this year we're able to offer the the interpretation at the workstation with multiple AI vendors, which I think shows how the conference not only carries its roots in terms of fundamentals, but also keeping up with the latest technologies.
Absolutely. I think the other huge difference was something that you did, Chris. We had the opportunity to present maybe 100 cases for people to review on their multi-viewers with film screen, but they didn't have a chance to find out whether they were right or wrong when they looked at these cases until the very end of the course. And they would mark on their sheets where they thought the abnormalities were, but they had no idea really what they had seen when we reviewed the cases. And then you came up with this brilliant idea of creating a small iPad-like device that gave a tablet. Do you want to explain what you did and how revolutionary that was?
Maybe it had to do of having to sit through those 2 to 3 hour review sessions where the attendees would review their screening cases, and then we'd go through an answer session. But those were pretty long, and everybody had to go at the same pace. And the impact of realizing you missed a cancer was long forgotten in those, because that might have been a day or two before that you looked at the case, and when you're given the answer, it really doesn't have the same impact. And you're stuck, sitting through all the other discussions and cases that you didn't really have questions on. So, introducing the iPads at the workstation where you get feedback immediately after each case, you have to decide if it's normal, or you have to identify the abnormality, and then the feedback is instant. So I think that really that instant feedback helps to train, give not only, instant feedback, but seeing that many cases and having the feedback right away, I think helps to train your eye and recognize the different findings that are most common with breast cancer.
Oh, absolutely. I think, what the workstation approach does is force you to make a decision. You can't just say, well, I'm not sure what's going on. You have to incorporate the information, make an active decision going forward. And this really does focus you on what it is you're trying to find. And by doing so, you really do incorporate what you're looking at onto your fovea of your eyes, so that when you see that case again, you're going to recognize it right away. Truly, I think this is the value. It is a powerful way to learn, especially for screening. And that's what this course is really based around, is how to screen for breast cancer, how to find the cancers when they're small enough to be cured.
Right. Well, and I think some of it's subconscious, right? I mean, you see, 100 or 150 cancers. You may not know it, but you're training your eye so that when you're reading, your cases back in the clinic, that antenna goes up because your brain is recognizing that this is something that you've learned before, or that your brain has perceived before. So I think it's just the whole process that improves your interpretation skills. And so the other thing that's carried through is we've always done the hands-on workshops, which obviously is done with ultrasound and some demonstrations on stereo and hands-on ultrasound, but also demonstrations on stereo and MR biopsy, as well as the whole breast screening ultrasound demonstrations. You want to comment on some of those that have carried through, and what plans in the future we have for that?
Yeah, sure. From the very beginning, we had the idea, as a lot of people did, of improving skills by practicing using turkey breasts as the model, and this created the opportunity to really bring in several ultrasound machines and a variety of biopsy devices, and let people actually train how to do biopsy of the breast with amazing improvement in skills. I mean, you have been involved in that. It's
Right.
really been revolutionary. People come out of that, they really feel like they really know how to do an ultrasound guided core biopsy without actually having to do it on a live patient. They
Right.
really have mastered the skills, and we've had a great faculty to help with that. The best of people in ultrasound, people like Tom Stavros, Sue Rue, yourself, outstanding people to help
Right.
train, and that's been a wonderful asset, truly.
Yeah, and we offer different devices because each program, people are comfortable with certain ergonomics and certain biopsy methods. So it's nice that we offer, because they may have certain ones in their practice that other radiologists use differently. So yeah, I've always found over the years, particularly with trainees and fellows and residents, that because the breast is immobilized with the stereotactic and MR biopsies, I think naturally people have they're a little more comfortable with those. But it's the ultrasound where it's that hand-eye coordination and getting the feel that really, I think, takes more practice, and there's not a lot of opportunities for that. And I think that's a highlight of the course, is having those opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us some highlights of, since this is the 30th, about about who are some of our acclaimed highlight faculty for this year, and just about the history of the different faculty that we've had over the years.
Well, this year is certainly one of the best, the brightest and the best, I would say, for a long time. We've had an outstanding faculty, but it just continues to get better. Initially, we had, as I mentioned, Bob Schmidt and Gillian Newstead. Also, Richard Bird, who was a fantastic teacher in his own right. Hilda Cardenosa, also a mainstay for many, many years. And then, of course, we added you.
Right. And we had Bill Eklund,
and Bill Eklund was another great
right,
teacher.
right.
And these were the best teachers around. That's how we chose the faculty, was who is the best teacher, not necessarily all the people that you may have heard their names
Right.
on the
And
open lights.
right. And pioneers, like we've had Steve Parker, who most people realize was the initiator, and he brought over prostate biopsy, spring-loaded core biopsies, the famous, into the core biopsies from that into breast. So he was a real pioneer in changing
Yeah.
how women had biopsies and reduce the number of unnecessary surgeries. So Steve's been part of the program here and there, and not sure if he's going to make a guest appearance this time, but we'll see.
He promised me he would, so we'll see. And then, of course, we've had his former partner.
He can do that because he can fly his helicopter over easily.
Yeah, as he's done
I'm not
before.
kidding,
Oh yeah, he's done that before. And then, of course, his former partner, Tom Stavros, probably the world's, I think, most outstanding breast ultrasound person. Tom is going to be here. He has been for many years. And as the course has grown, we've had other of the most brilliant teachers. But this year we've added a whole slew of people who are the very best, top of their game. Emily Conant from Penn, Regina Hooley from Yale. We've got
Carol
Lee from Sloan Kettering, Jessica Leung from MD Anderson. These are the best people from the best places, and they each bring with them a slightly different approach that adds to the overall benefit of this course. To me, that's the exciting part about having such. We don't need this big a faculty. We don't need 12 people for this kind of a course, but I insist that we have the faculty of this size to make it as intimate a relationship between the attendees and the faculty as possible, so they get the full benefit of the brilliance of the teaching that these people offer.
Yeah. And, you know, we went from kind of the old school with Richard Byrd and Hilda Cardnosa and Bill Eklund, you know, the old school basics of and László of fundamentals of breast imaging and mammography. And we've kind of evolved since, you know, when I came on, it was adding because MRI was becoming a new component. But we had Mike Middleton when I was at UCSD with him. We came and did the workstations, and then Bruce Porter, who was famous in breast MRI and did outstanding work on the West Coast. And I believe Bruce will be making
He's coming back.
Appearance. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
We've had in the past, you know, we've had, you know, the addition of MR people, you know, obviously the ultrasound with Tom, but we've had Liz and Connie Lehman and a host of people, and Gillian also with her expertise. And but so now we also include this year is Katja Pinker Dominic from Columbia, and my wife Janice Sung from Columbia also, and in her contrast mammography lectures. And Katja Pinker is just outstanding as a leader in breast MRI. So you know we're covering the new and the latest techniques on MRI, as well as you know, bringing back in the 100 case MR case review. Do you want to just mention and we mentioned Regina in ultrasound has also been part of the faculty lately from Yale. And so we really cover the basis on all the fundamental aspects of breast imaging and then the new techniques. Do you want to talk a little bit about how the course is structured in terms of lectures and workshops and the case-based review?
Yes, the way we've set it up is that people have an opportunity to do whatever they wish in terms of their participation in workshops. There's the basic didactic portion, which occurs every day, beginning at 8 in the morning and extending until about 3 in the afternoon. So over the course of 5 days, people have an opportunity to hear about 25 lectures from this incredible faculty. And then beginning at 3 o'clock every day, we start the workstation-based workshops. The workshops are offered what I would call a la carte. That is to say, you can sign up for any one of them or all of them or any combination, from beginning with tomosynthesis with AI to breast MRI to contrast enhanced mammography, separate workshop in that now, to automated breast ultrasound, which is a separate course led by Sue Rue, one of the best in the world. And then, of course, we've got, as you mentioned, the ultrasound guided core biopsy hands-on workshop, which occurs on one afternoon as well. But every day,
which also includes MR demonstration, MR biopsy, and in the past we've had the actual stereotactic biopsy demonstration with the actual stereo table.
That's coming back. I think that's coming back this year too. We're going to have stereo as part of the workshop. Yeah, and these courses, the workshops are basically at your own pace, as you mentioned, Chris. People can look at a case for as long or as short as they wish, because they're in total control of the speed of which they look at the cases. They look at one case at a time. They make their decision. They find out immediately whether they're right or wrong. So they learn from that case as they go, especially if they're wrong, they remember that case forever, and they take that information to the next case. So that's the way it's set up. They can stay as late as they wish every evening to look at the cases.
We have the workstation room open till it's pretty late at night that people it's available for people to review.
And some people do that. Yeah.
Right. and we have various lectures, lunch and learns, and breakfast and learns too during the conference, which are sponsored by vendors.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have wonderful vendor support. We're going to have about 20 different vendors displaying their wares in the vendor display room, which is a fantastic opportunity for the attendees to see the latest equipment and talk to the vendors personally about it. So that's an added advantage as well. So it offers a whole cornucopia of opportunities for the attendees, not only to hear the best lectures from the best lecturers, but the opportunity to learn at the workstation in each of the different modalities that now exist in breast imaging, and to do so in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which isn't such a bad venue after all.
Yeah,
I should mention. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've always felt that the case-based, having both lectures, because, I myself as an attendee and going to different, venues and vacation destinations or resorts where you go listen to some lectures, how much of that do you really bring home to improve your practice?
It's really one ear and out the other.
Yeah, it's really the lectures and then those case reviews, I think, that really the attendees, and that's why I think we can talk a little bit of, we have quite a core following of people who come back routinely, and also, the workstation-based conferences are going by the wayside. They're few and far between. They're usually just kind of one-off opportunities to review cases. But I think going forward, I think this is really one of the last remaining conferences where you can really do a significant case-based review during the conference.
Sure, and that adds one additional value to people who need to review cases in order to be accredited to do mammography in the United States. They need 240 cases to have read 240 cases
for their initial or qualification,
initial training,
or their reinstating. Also, I think,
And this is one of the few venues where that opportunity now exists. The other courses,
in addition to the 8 hours of digital and 8 hours of tomosynthesis.
Yes,
both are important for people who don't have that and have to get back into mammography.
Right. So this is a tremendous additional value to the workstation-based case review.
Yeah, and for attendees who are at quote ACR centers of excellence where they need 100 MR case review, this provides that for readers
as well.
if their center participates in that voluntary accreditation. So let's talk a little bit about, so we have, quite a following of regulars, and they come back for the conference and the camaraderie and the friends, but also Santa Fe. You want to talk a little bit about Santa Fe, New Mexico, for people who haven't been?
If you haven't heard, Santa Fe is one of the well-kept secrets in the United States. It's considered the second most beautiful venue anywhere in the world for just to visit, according to Condé Nast, which I don't know if that's really necessarily true, but
what surprised me, because I'm not an opera fan, but it's a premier opera location, correct?
It's the second most beautiful opera house in the world, and they have world famous opera singers every night that we're there.
It's
all summer.
I've been there, and it's a spectacular venue where it looks over the desert, and it's quite a place.
And it's outdoors, and yet it isn't. It's covered, but the sides are open, so the cool mountain air just wafts through during the performance, and you watch the sunset right through the stage. It's just spectacular over the mountains. It's a spectacular venue, and they've got the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival also offering a different concert every night. And 300
I have
art
to say,
galleries.
what draws me is two Canyon Road. The art galleries are just phenomenal. And as well as the restaurants. I mean, I think that's we go routinely to a couple that we've gone now for years and years.
Yeah.
So.
They're fantastic. Yeah, they're all world class. I think there's no bad restaurant in Santa Fe. If there were a bad restaurant, it wouldn't survive because the competition is really quite stiff with superb restaurants. And it is the second biggest art market in the world. There are 300 galleries, art galleries in Santa Fe. And it's contemporary art. It's a lot. It's also a center for Native American art. Beautiful.
And I have to say I'm a big fan of those nostalgic hotels, kind of like, out in San Diego and Coronado, there's the famous Hotel del Coronado that, has pictures of Marilyn Monroe, and it's the same feel. La Fonda Hotel is one of those classic old historic hotels, which is right in the heart of the city.
Yeah, it's all built with the Spanish, the old Spanish venues and the Native American architecture. It's quite unique. It is called the City Different for good reason. It's the oldest capital city in the United States. It goes back to 1612. So there's a lot of history there. There are 300-year-old buildings all over the place, including the world's the oldest church in the United States. It's right in Santa Fe. It's an amazing place. It offers something for everyone. There's about 10 or 12 world-class museums there too. I think it's a destination in itself, and it's nice to have that as the venue for this course. It's one of the reasons we chose Santa Fe as the site.
I have to say, though, it's funny, though, we have some attendees who regularly do all the workshops, right? They do all the lectures and they sign up for all the workshops. We call it the full Monty. And they probably don't have as much time to do the museums, but they usually duck out for a good meal, but they're back in the workshop room, after dinner and finishing cases early in the morning. So it's whatever people really choose to come to the course for, but there's no other conference like this that really offers the workstation-based review, the faculty, the location. I think it really, and that's why, I'm going forward, hope to continue this because it's really, it's so unique and there's nothing like this. And, we'll continue to evolve and incorporate new technologies and, obviously abbreviated breast MRI, contrast mammo, those are on the horizon becoming more mainstream. But, the core of it really, hopefully we can continue in this format.
Well, Chris, I'm delighted that now that this is going to be my 30th year leading the course, and I'm going to be stepping down and turning the course over to you. And I am so delighted that you have chosen to take this on, because you're just the right person. You're so talented and so attuned to what's going on in the breast imaging world. And a great teacher. And I'm really delighted that you're going to be carrying this legacy forward.
I'm not letting you off the hook so fast, because you're going to have to continue to come to the conference and be part of it in some way until you can't travel anymore. How's that?
Fair enough. I love coming back to Santa Fe. I lived in New Mexico for 40 years, and it's in my blood. It is an amazing place, and I want to continue to be part of it. But I really hope, and I know that you're going to make it even better than it has been. You've got all the tools.
Thank you, Mike. Any final comments or?
Well, I think this truly is the world's most comprehensive interactive course, and I never realized the power of looking at these cases. People have a chance to look at almost 600 cases during the course of these 5 days. And I never realized quite how powerful that was until actually the second year we were doing this. I got this email from a fellow named Joe Miller who ran a huge breast center in San Antonio. And he said, I found a 6 millimeter highly aggressive and invasive cancer today. I never would have found it had it not been for your workshop. And I said, wow, this is a powerful tool. This is going to make people better by several leaps and bounds. I was really impressed with the great power that this course offers.
Right.
And I think this is true for everybody.
Yeah, all translates to patient care and outcomes. So I think
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So directly. This is, I think, women's lives are clearly in better hands because of the people who have attended this course. They're finding cancers they never would have found. Our sphere of influence really has become huge through the 3,000 or so people who have attended this course.
Right. Okay. Well, nice talking to you, Mike, and talking about the course over its history and its future. And I'll be seeing you in a couple of months, 7 months here, almost 8 months.
Yeah.
And then also, do you want to talk about how people register and go to the site and if they're interested?
Sure. This course we have a wonderful partner as our meeting planner, and that is IICME, International Institute of CME. And they have, I believe it's open now, their opportunity for you to register. You just go to the iicme.com website, and you just push on the button, and you can register.
And you can select the different workshops. You can do just the lectures only, or pick.
Right.
The hands-on workshop is included as part of the lecture.
The hands-on is part of the regular routine didactic set. But for each of the workshops, the workstation-based workshops, you can sign up for any or all of them.
Right.
Any combination, and you can see when you go to register, there's a whole menu, and you can choose which one you want. And
there's an early bird, obviously, discount, but I don't know the date. You have to.
No. There will be an early bird discount too, so I would urge you to sign up early.
Right.
It's I think
early and often. Right.
Once is enough. That's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's an amazing camaraderie among the faculty and among the attendees. It's small enough that it's a personal kind of a course that offers the opportunity to really expand your abilities as a breast imager, and really and really incorporate the passion that all of our faculty have for this specialty. It's a remarkable way. Each of us can go to work every day and say, today I'm going to save somebody's life, and really mean it. And I think this is what drives us. This is why we do this course. This is why we want to make people better, so that more women's lives can be saved.
Yeah. All right. Good talking to you, Mike. And,
same here, Chris.
All right. Take care.
See you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.